Hello, and welcome to the Book Doctor's YouTube channel. This is Arielle Eckstut.
And this is David Henry Sterry.
Hello. We wanted to tell you about our latest Pitchapalooza success story. If you don't know what Pitchapalooza is, it's an event we've done literally 100,000 times. Well, I mean literally
in the teenage sense.
And it's like American Idol for books. People get 1 minute to pitch their book to a panel of experts who critique their pitch in a kind and gentle way, and we help hook them up with agents and publishers. So in our own hometown of Montclair, New Jersey,
Mr. Dan Gill, teacher of 53 years, not just teacher, middle school teacher.
Yeah,
Can you imagine? I mean, that is really, you got to have a certain kind of personality to do that. And God love him for doing it for 53 years.
I didn't realize it, but he's a local star. You say
he's
anybody,
legend.
You go, Mr. Gill, like, oh, Mr. Gill. Literally anywhere in our town, Mr. Gill.
So Mr. Gill got up and told this story.
Hi, I'm Dan Gill. I'm going to talk to you about a story that I created, which is called No More Chairs, which is actually a real story in my own life, about an incident at a birthday party where I went to this party with my best friend, who was Archie, and he was African American, and we were greeted at the door by the mother of the boy, and she said to me that I could go in, but Archie couldn't, because there were no more chairs. I was particularly shocked by that, and said to her, well, I know your apartment and you have plenty of chairs, and if not, I can sit on the floor. But she reiterated again that I could go in, but Archie couldn't. And I said I would go and get my own chair. And she said, no, you don't need to do that. You can go in, Dan, but Archie can't. It was the first time that I had encountered racism. I was 9 years old. I was living in New York City, and I knew that it had humiliated my best friend. I tell that story to my students each Martin Luther King Day in an attempt to connect them to the idea that birthday parties should always be places filled with anticipation and a proper greeting. And in my classroom, I've connected that to having a chair in my classroom that's always there for anybody who walks into my room.
When Dan finished this story, a hush went over the room.
Yeah.
People were welled up with emotion.
Yeah.
And we just knew that this is a story, not only that has to be out there, but what a story for our times.
Timeless, right? And yet timely. Couldn't be any more timely.
Absolutely.
And so we announced, Arielle was on her phone as he's doing, like, she's never done that. She was Googling him because she thought it was Mr. Gill. And it was Mr. Gill.
It was Mr. Gill. So this story just moved us so much.
Everybody.
And it was one of these things where it took one phone call to get a book deal. Do you know how hard that is in this day and age? It's
ridiculous.
It's
with a big
crazy.
Time publisher.
And Mr. Gill has already been covered in television, papers, podcasts, you name it, from doing Pitchapalooza.
Yeah.
And this leads us to the next thing that we want to say, which is that Pitchapalooza all along has been this thing where people have said, you have to turn this into a television show. It just has that natural feel to it. And as many of you know from our last video, we are now making a television show.
We are.
Called
America's Next Great Author.
And we are going to be holding Pitchapalooza in the Bay Area this fall to do the pilot episode. And if you sign up at americasnextgreatauthor.com, you will get updates, casting calls, all that kind of information.
And you will be able to submit your own work.
You will.
So that maybe
you will be America's next great author. All right. See you on the TV screen.
Bye. Wave to the people. Bye.